You can simply take a blanket or towel and put it in some of the areas where you might get drafts. If it's really sunny outside for some reason, you can keep your blinds open to let the warm sun in. But at night, be sure to close your blinds. This is going to be a great way to block the cold weather out. And consider bundling up inside your home and dropping your thermostat down just a few degrees. Jeff Brooks, a Duke Energy spokesperson, says this will lead to real savings on your bill. And those are 5 easy ways to keep your house warm, your heating bill low. If you use them and you see cost savings, let us know. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
The news at 6 starts now.
Covered and getting more treacherous by the hour.
We have been following this forecast now for days.
It is slick out there. It is a mess, and it's going to be like that for quite a while.
Almost 50 crashes in just the past 2 hours.
They're trying just to get the lumber and put it on the side of the road.
This is what it looks like everywhere. These roads are totally covered in snow.
You can see just a row of cancellations.
We narrowly got hit by a vehicle that spun out and drove.
It's likely that we'll see more ice issues.
We have live team coverage from all parts of our coverage area today, from the studio to the roads.
Right now at 6, you are looking live at I-40 in Wake County, North Hills in Raleigh, and the DBAP in Durham. The snow is here, it is sticking, and it is causing issues across the area. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Gerald Owens. We want to get right to the newest information at this hour. Parts of Wake County have seen 2 inches of snow and more, including Raleigh. We're seeing totals even up to 5. Mike Mays will talk about that in just a minute. Even more has fallen in the surrounding areas. RDU International has had more than 70 flight cancellations and 50 delays. Our crews have seen multiple crashes on major interstates in the area. The latest numbers from the Highway Patrol show more than 650 accidents across North Carolina. We have live team coverage of the weather conditions. We begin with meteorologist Mike Mays in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Mike, we know we've seen the back edge of this storm. How much longer is the snow going to fall?
Well, we're seeing the back edge, Gerald, already over our western counties. Chatham County seeing a break up over northern Durham County, also Orange County. It's just a matter of time before we see that happen over Wake County. Still seeing reports from viewers over in Roanoke Rapids and over toward Rocky Mount. Snow is coming down heavily there, so you'll probably see a few more, maybe an inch or 2 more accumulation before all is said and done. We were anticipating 4 to 6 in our northeastern counties, and Roanoke Rapids has already reported up to 5. Drury in Warren County also about 5 inches. And here's the bigger radar view showing what's happening over toward Greenville and Spartanburg. Still spotty areas of snow, so the widespread rain will be coming to an end shortly, and then we'll see broken areas of spotty snow as we go through probably 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock this evening. So here are some of the rain or snowfall totals, I should say. Roanoke Rapids 5 inches, Youngsville and Franklin County 3 inches, Oxford and Granville County 3 inches. Officially now out at RDU, it's 2 inches of snow. Their daily snowfall record was 1.8. Now it's up to 2 inches. The old record 0.9 set back in 2012. Chapel Hill, popular place tonight, 3.2 inches of snow. Rocky Mount, we finally got a report for you guys, 2.5. And the report I got said the snow was coming down heavily. This is what we expect hour by hour heading into the evening. Now 80% chance of snow. We're starting to see it taper off in our western counties. By 8 o'clock, 60% chance. By 10 o'clock, a 40% chance. I'm leaving in a 30% chance for some light snow and flurries overnight because we'll be in between systems. So there's still a possibility of flurries. The low pressure is moving out. We'll have an upper level area of low pressure coming in tomorrow. That will bring lift into the atmosphere, helping to develop more snow showers. So a 60% chance of snow, 9, 10, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow at this time, we're looking at clearing skies and temperatures should be in the 30s. So the bottom line is a high impact on the roads. We need you to stay home. Let DOT can do their job. Between 5 and 9 o'clock, we still see some precipitation coming down. Covered roads, especially those secondary roads, will have that lull overnight, maybe just flurries. And then in the morning with that next round coming in, we'll see maybe a dusting, maybe a light accumulation, but there will be slick covered roads until later on tomorrow afternoon when the sun comes out and maybe a little bit of melting. I'll have a look at Futurecast and our 7-day forecast coming up in less than 15 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Mike. As we look live at Chapel Hill, you can see the snow plows there ready to go in Orange County. You know, across the area, we've seen dozens of crashes and many of them have involved multiple cars and trucks.
One major crash brought traffic to a standstill on I-40 and 85 in Orange County. WRAL's Sean Gallagher joins us live from above the highway to tell us what happened. Sean.
Yeah, Gerald and Deb, we passed this crash about 3 hours ago, but there was no safe space for us to stop at. But we were able to get to this overpass right here where you can see the merger of 40 to 85. There are at least 4 semis that are involved in this crash, 2 at the bottom here that are kind of separate, and then another big gap, and 2 that have really blocked that entire lane of traffic. Nobody getting by, and it has been like this for hours. Now, we have heard from law enforcement that they believe 20 to 30 vehicles at least may have been involved in this crash here. And they say that they had at least 6 patients transported by EMS, but we don't know the extent of their injuries. And then there were another 10 people who were evacuated from the scene just to get them to warming centers. So this is just an absolute mess and really indicative of what we've seen across the triangle on these major thoroughfares, whether it's 85, 40, 95. There are crashes like this all over the place, but this one right here is super impactful. It has been blocked like this for hours, and it is just an absolute mess. And for the people who live around here, we spoke to a couple of folks who had off from school today. They've been able to stay inside, keep cozy, but this is right around the corner from where they live. Take a listen to what they heard today.
Thankful to not be out there. My daughter was playing in the snow earlier and heard 3 really loud booms, and we're assuming that's what it was. So we just came to see what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I drive this area a lot. I know how busy it can get on a regular day. I mean, to see the gridlock here, have you ever seen anything like this?
I've never seen it backed up. Of course, we can't even see how far it really is backed up. But we had some friends text, and they're stuck on a different part of 40, and they've been sitting there for over an hour.
Back out here live, like I said in that interview there, I take this road all the time to see some family that live out in Burlington. And yes, I've been in gridlock here, nothing like this. I mean, it is just, it's not even a bottleneck. It is completely stopped there. You can see those yellow lights twinkling back there. That is a large tow truck that will get those semis out there. But for the last half hour, it has been stuck there, nothing moving at all as they continue trying to clear this up. So if you are headed anywhere westbound on 40 today from the Raleigh area going west, completely avoid I-40 altogether if you can. But really what you want to do is just stay home, let this all pass, let the first responders, the crews, the DPW crews clear these roads out, make them safe so that they can get people where they need to go who have true emergencies. Don't be out on the roads if you don't need to. Live in Orange County, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
Brian Schrader here at the WRAL Live Center. A huge mess there in Hillsborough, and that's not the only one in Orange County right now. As we take you to our live map, we're going to head over to the Efland area. We have a crash on eastbound I-40 right there at the Efland interchange, and it looks like most of those lanes are blocked right now as they work to get that one cleared. And then as you head from Hillsborough toward Chapel Hill, 40 eastbound is closed right now because of a crash right around the NC 86 interchange, and this is the scene out at Millhouse Road with huge delays still showing up in that area. We're going to take you to a wide view of the triangle so you can see how things are looking in Durham and Wake counties right now. And we have a lot of crashes in Wake County and a lot of slow traffic, obviously. And at least one of those earlier crashes on I-87 right around the Neuse River Bridge still is an active scene. And that northbound side of 87 is very slow. The southbound side is completely closed at this point as they work to get that cleared. That Neuse River Bridge always pretty tricky in these winter storms. We are going to check in now with meteorologist Amy Wilmoth, who has been in the WRAL Storm Tracker all day long. She's out on I-40 in the southwest part of Raleigh heading toward Cary. Amy, what are you experiencing right now?
I can tell you I've covered all 3 winter storms that have hit us this year, and this is the worst. You know, when 40 is covered in snow, things are bad, and they're going to be bad on the secondary roads. Typically with these kind of storm systems, you have at least one lane on the highway that is, fairly clear. That is just not the case here in Wake County on 40. It's totally covered. It's a slushy mess. We've seen multiple cars that have slid off the road, multiple cars who have briefly lost control and then were able to regain control. It's just a mess out here. I highly, highly suggest just staying off the roads. I know a lot of people think, hey, I can at least get on the highway. It'll be clear on the highway. That is not the case. Earlier this morning, we really started off our day talking about that wreck on I-95 South near Micro. And it was an overturned tractor trailer, lumber all over I-95, completely shut down I-95 southbound in that area for quite some time. They were able to get that cleared. But also, we had First Sergeant Chris Knox with the Highway Patrol also stressing stay off the roads. In fact, during our 4 p.m. newscast, this statistic really explained why.
This really kind of captures the picture. Yesterday, throughout the day, across the state, we investigated 185 collisions. So far, 4 o'clock today, we've investigated 649 throughout the state. So you can that tells a good tale of what we're dealing with.
It's a mess out here, and like I said, this is the worst that I've seen so far with the 3 rounds of winter weather. And obviously the Highway Patrol saying this is really bad, stay off the roads. So that's all we can say, stay off the roads. It's just going to get worse overnight tonight as things really get cold. Tomorrow will be bad on the roads as well. For now, we'll send it back into you.
All right, Amy, thank you. And because of these weather conditions, we've just learned that Wake County Public Schools will be closed tomorrow. We're sure other school systems will follow. Our crews have seen numerous crashes across the area since early this morning. Wake County EMS responded to dozens of crashes themselves.
WRAL's Carly Haynes joins us live near I-87. Where does the slow go there? Carly, Brian was just talking about this accident where you are.
Yes, right by mile marker 5. That's as you go into Wendell or Nightdale, and really every half mile on 87, you're seeing scenes like this. Cars spun out against the guardrail from these road conditions. These are just 2 where we're at right now, but if you go up just a little ways up the road, there was a big truck that had spun out. They were just towed away. So these cars, they're continuing down. This road has just reopened. But there's still some police down that way as well, trying to monitor things and make sure that everybody was safe. Now, we came here from another crash. This is on Atlantic Avenue. This happened right around 3 o'clock today, where 2 cars collided head on. They were each going in opposite directions, and we know that one person in one of those cars was sent to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The other person was taken to the hospital with a broken leg. So very dangerous out here. We know this can happen anywhere. It can happen on interstates where people are going faster, where there are more cars on the road, but it can also happen in those back roads where people go around bends. So once again, this is why first responders and Department of Transportation were really urging people to stay off those roads today. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
So much traffic out there tonight, too. Thank you, Carly. Be sure to get the newest information with weather updates every 10 minutes on WRAL News Plus. That's available over the air, channel 34 and Spectrum channel 1257. You can also watch it live 24/7 on WRAL.com and the WRAL News app.
Coming up, from snow day to snow day at home, WRAL investigates why some school districts make today a remote learning day. And we're going to find out what Wake County's process is. You said, and then we have a correction. Wake County has pulled down their closed for tomorrow. So we're still trying to wait and see what Wake County's going to do. We will have that information for you first and foremost right here on WRAL.
That's right, Gerald. They posted it and then they took it down just a couple of minutes later. We're trying to figure out what's going on there. Let's take a look at traffic. I want to show you a new camera here. This is in Cary, 64 US 1 out at Tryon Road, a very busy road. You can see where it looks like the lights are reflecting off that pavement there. Doesn't necessarily mean it's wet, and even if it is, it's very likely to freeze overnight. So best idea is just to stay right where you are through tomorrow morning at least.
We're taking you live to Moore County.
Wow.
This is, yeah, it's very, very cold there. Obviously, the camera has frozen over. But across our area, we are starting to really see the snow totals add up, and Mike will have the latest coming up. You're watching WRAL News, available on YouTube TV, Spectrum, and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device.
Well, that camera tells the whole story, doesn't it? For most public school students in the area, today was a remote learning day, but not Wake County, where classes were canceled altogether today.
The move caused some parents to question why. WRAL Investigates Sarah Kruger is live now from Olds Elementary, looking into that answer. Sarah?
Deborah, hopefully students have been enjoying the day off, but at the same time, we've heard from some parents concerned about learning loss and wondering why Wake's decision was so different than others. Now we are finally getting some clarity on that.
The viewer questions started right away. Emails like this one from a Wake Schools parent. All public schools except Wake County doing remote learning, and we wonder why students are not at grade level. It's a frustration felt by others, too.
So they need to keep learning. And I don't think it's good just to cancel them.
I sent a number of questions to Wake Schools, including why the district was seemingly not prepared for remote learning now, yet relied on it during COVID. I also went through Wake's current policy, which states it can call for remote learning days, but only after it's used all teacher work days as makeup days first. In a lengthy call with spokesperson Lisa Luton to get answers, she explained that policy to prioritize in-person instruction is why schools were canceled. She said the policy was created a few years ago when parents were fed up with online learning. Now, Luton explains, the district is aware many parents have warmed back up to it. So the district is in talks about changing the policy so remote learning is more readily utilized.
And were you in high school during the COVID years? Okay. So virtual learning was like a very big part of your high school experience.
Yeah.
Having been through that, Josh Truitt says it's a tough call.
I don't think online learning is quite as effective. And so in that scenario, I would understand why they would cancel it, because you're just not learning as much when you're online.
And we have just learned that Wake Schools has made the decision to cancel tomorrow as well. Now, it's important to remember that even though Wake Schools is closed today, will be closed tomorrow, that the students here in Wake County, they will still get all of their instruction time. It is state law to have 171 days of instruction. Now, of course, if there are a lot of missed days, there is that concern that to make it up might eat into spring break or summer break. We are not at that point. At least not yet. Sarah Kruger, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And we're seeing a definitive end of the snow, or at least tapering off of the snow in our western counties, Moore County, parts of Lee County, Chatham County, Orange, and also Durham counties. But still the precipitation coming down heavily in our eastern counties. The blue is the snow and perhaps some sleet mixed in. And also farther south where you see the purple pink color, that's where there's freezing rain. Now, if I switch over to the regular radar and take the winter mask off, you can see definitive areas where you're seeing some yellows and reds show up. Now, this is likely to be sleet, and I had confirmation from John Moody, who's over in eastern Edgecombe County. He said it's been sleeting there through the afternoon. And this is what we call bright banding. When you look for wintry precipitation on the radar that doesn't have the winter mask on and you see bright colors like this tends to mean it's sleet. And so that's what we're likely seeing in our eastern counties and maybe over Harnett and Cumberland counties as well. And again, you can see the definitive tapering off over our western counties. Take a look at Fayetteville. You can see ice in the trees, but the roads are wet on Hay Street outside the WRAL Fayetteville News Bureau. And there's our WRAL garden cam. The snow's coming down. Footprints, people avoiding the stairs, which is excellent news, and they're walking up the hill. So we've seen that. And also the historic town hall over Zebulon and eastern Wake County, still some light snow coming down in that area. So it's 30 at Fayetteville, it's 31 in Clinton, 27 in Goldsboro with freezing rain. Had viewers send in pictures of their freezing rain, and it's starting to build up. We don't have any reports of power outages just yet. That's good news. 26 at Sanford and Raleigh, and then farther north, 20 at Henderson, 26 in Durham. And with the tapering off of the precipitation and temperatures staying where they are, we're likely to see freezing of the roads. So be aware of that. There's low pressure. That's the first round, the culprit that brought our snow and freezing rain today. This is the upper level energy that shifts into the area tomorrow, bringing the chance for some additional light snow and flurries. 7 o'clock on Futurecast, we're seeing the blue, which would indicate snow and sleet. 9 o'clock, the model's still showing it there, although in reality, it's moving out quicker than what Futurecast is showing. By 11 o'clock, still some snow flurries possible, and even overnight cannot rule out some flurries. 20 to 30% chance. And in the morning, when we have ice-covered roads, there's still that possibility with that upper level system coming in to bring an additional dusting of light snow. You see that lasting through about 12 o'clock. And then later in the afternoon, we anticipate some clearing to take place. High temperatures will be in the lower to mid 30s. So the snow will taper off this evening just to pick up again at some point tomorrow morning. Elizabeth will have all about that starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow. 25 in Raleigh, 22 in Roxborough tonight, 26 in Southern Pines. Some light snow, flurries in the morning, later in the afternoon, a bit of sunshine, highs in the mid to maybe upper 30s in Fayetteville. And the good news is a temperature turnaround is on the way. Although we have a couple of mornings where 19 on Friday morning, 19 on Saturday, anything that's left that's moist and liquid will refreeze overnight and cause problems in the morning. We have warming next week, 60s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So a definitive thaw is on the way.
That's going to feel good. Mike, thank you.
Despite the weather, the game goes on. Pat Welter is live in Chapel Hill. Hey, Pat.
That's right, Deborah. Coming up next, I'll tell everybody how Carolina and NC State is keeping this rivalry heated despite the freezing conditions. Next. Pat Welter coming to you live from Chapel Hill. UNC and NC State still on for 7 o'clock tonight despite the storm. Carolina encouraging fans to just stay home, watch this one from the couch, be safe. That is, unless you can walk, because Carolina just announced open admission for anyone who can walk to this game. That's right, it's free. If you already have a ticket, you get first dibs to your seat. Here's a look at the first fans coming in a little while ago at 5:30. I talked to a couple who drove here from Charlotte to celebrate a birthday, several students who walked, and I'll tell you, they weren't letting anything get in the way of watching this rivalry game tonight. Check for our coverage tonight on WRALSportsFan.com. Back to you guys in the studio in Raleigh.
Should be a good one. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. We're just minutes away from NBC Nightly News.
And tonight at 7 here on WRAL, live winter weather coverage from across our area as we look live from downtown Cary Park, where the snow is still coming down. We'll tell you which roads are dealing with the most trouble spots.